Okay. Guess we can get started. We'll bring the Parks and Recreation meeting Thursday, November 3rd, 2022 at 7 o'clock. Starting actually at 7:08 to order. Committee members O'Regan. Here. Wild.
Yeah.
Marisi. Here. Fassbender. No. Absent. All right. And approval of agenda. Everybody have an agenda? No.
You do, don't
Yeah.
I?
Well,
Sorry, no. Oh, sorry, you're not going on.
Thank you.
so in anything on the motion, approval for. the
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, November 3rd meeting.
I'll second.
And approval of minutes for the September 1st, 2022 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, September 1st.
I'll second.
All right, and then new business. Oh, a vote. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to take votes for both of those. All right, let's go back to approval of agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And now we'll go back to approval of minutes. All those who approve the minutes
Aye.
Aye.
and opposed? All right. But it's supposed to say the number of ayes and nays, right? Or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
There's no opposed.
Yeah, nobody's opposed, 0 opposed. All right, so new business. Bridge and Christmas decorating. First item on the agenda. And I believe. I am probably the least. Knowledgeable about this at this point, so. I know. Talked to one person, I think they're gonna get, start decorating on the, like in 2 weekends.
So I heard it was what, after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, what day are we gonna have the bridge lighting? Is it the first Saturday of December or
It's the first Saturday.
the first Saturday? Cause I talked to Tim Stratton. And he said, cause I asked him about, putting up the lights, those things that we bought last year. And he said he wanted to wait until after the bridge lighting, because the kids were messing with them last year. And just, destroyed some of them or broke them. So he said he'd rather put them in after the tree lighting, the poles and all of that.
Throughout the town. You're talking about.
Correct, yeah,
Yeah.
like we got them in the park.
Yeah,
on the
on the
poles.
left.
Yeah, and he was gonna talk with Jason too. But he said it would be better to put it up after the. Because the kids must have a tendency to break things. And they did a couple of them.
I'd like to make a comment about the bridge lighting. Normally, the lead on the bridge lighting, etc., is done by the Parks Committee.
Right,
And I found out that that's not the case this year,
oh,
which was used to be. So apparently the city council, it looks as if they're in charge of it. So, it's kind of a surprise really, because we've done it year after year in a seamless fashion, but,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened that caused it to be that, but it would have been nice if somebody would have found out who normally is in charge of it. And, it behooves the mayor to be aware of what's going on with the various committees, but then again, that's the way it is, so, I said I would give any information that was needed for it. I passed on all my procedures that we have in place for it to go smoothly. So, we'll see what happens.
So they're not gonna need volunteers then to set up the lights?
I don't know.
Hmm.
See, this is the problem. And it's very disappointing, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we can volunteer, obviously, as good citizens. But, you know, there again, it's a shame, really.
Is there like a person who's in sort of in charge of?
Well, I understand that Councillor Harrison is in charge.
Gil Harris,
Harris, is it? Harrison? Harris? Gail, it's just Gail to me. So long ago.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can just. Maybe reach out to her and get. I don't know, unless you got one, George, like a schedule of. Because you know, there might be a cleanup or something like that too, I don't know.
Well, I give it all to her,
Oh,
with
okay.
the whole procedure, from
Okay.
beginning to end, the different, entities that are involved, who does what sort of thing, so it's quite smooth. Now, the other thing is, Shannon said that we would have a Christmas parade. Have we heard anything about that at all at this point? Have you heard anything
I haven't heard anything,
about a permit and et cetera?
I haven't.
But she said she would do it at our last meeting, I believe.
I can reach out to her and just send her an email and see what.
Yeah,
plan date
yeah, it's the thing to
and-
do, really. Keeping in there
And
on the front burner,
your parade,
but it was good before, when she did it.
day. And,
I know we talked about it being on the same day,
yeah, that's what
that's
she.
why everybody's around it in the board, if that's the word to use.
She might want to coordinate with Gail, yes, for the whole thing, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't say that, I mean, that's a separate entity, the Christmas parade is usually in the morning. And the bridge lighting and that sort of thing is in the evening, really,
Yeah.
for preparation during the day.
I'd like to know, this new format. Who thought that one up? Why is Gail taking over all this? Jeremy?
Like, we had a discussion about it at the council meeting on timing and logistics, and there was a lot of discussion, a lot of ideas that were put out there. One of the ideas was to have somebody coordinated, and Gil took that up and the council agreed to it. Last year, we held the tree lighting and it was a similar situation, and there wasn't any, didn't seem to be any issues with that, so that's how we're proceeding this year.
Well, you don't think it's in the front to the Parks Committee, really, that nobody understood that it came under Parks for the last 14 years? That's the disappointing part of the whole thing.
Well, the disappointing part for me is that we were never notified. You know, about the change.
Would you like to participate and be involved in it?
Well, it's, you know, it's a little bit late now, it's like
It's
sitting
not,
to somebody.
it's not a little bit late. We haven't even started, so would you like to be involved?
Well, if you haven't even started, then it's another issue. I mean, I'm not prepared to get in the middle. You see, when we had the last meeting, what you just told us now, Jeremy, you didn't tell us at the last meeting, because I was ready to get going with it at the last meeting, and then you said, Gail's got something going, and the next thing I knew, Gail called me to ask about parking passes, and that's the first thing I knew. My question to her, who's taking the lead on this? And she said, well, we kind of discussed it at council, and I said I would do it. Fine. Well, I give her all the material, so it should run smooth.
Yep, I think we should leave it the way Gail's in charge now. and,
Yeah, you don't-
One less thing we have to worry
Don't
about.
jump in on this.
Yeah. Just have it as it's been planned, and it just would have been a little respectful to have notified the park committee. That's all I'm saying about it.
So what I'm hearing is the committee doesn't want to participate and volunteer your time.
We'll put the decorations, when we know what's happening.
I would volunteer. Cause usually it was, we did it the Saturday before, right?
Well, we start Saturday of Thanksgiving, it varies
Yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah.
Varies about putting decorations up, and a lot of that is coordinating with what Max is able to.
Right,
to
yeah,
do.
because we gotta wrap
With
it
regards to
around.
equipment and stuff.
Yeah, all the lights,
I
yeah.
got him
And
short.
then we jump in when Max is available.
Yeah,
And starts sorting out the lights and things like that, you know.
But we can't do it at the last minute for the maintenance crew.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Because then they have to rush and do this and do that
Yeah.
amongst all the duties, so.
what is Saturday after Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know we've cleaned it in the past. And then. There's some decoration.
Yeah, we have the fire department show up and post.
So that's all on the list I gave to Gail,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards from
Yeah.
when he's coming out.
Yeah, I think this was to be willing to volunteer. I know I'm gonna be out of town a couple of weekends in November, but other days I'd be able to volunteer. Okay. Any other discussion about the bridge and Christmas decorating?
No, when was that gonna start? What'd you say? What,
So what?
the decorating?
Oh, the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Cheers.
Thanksgiving.
All right. Oh, there is 26, is that right?
Hmm.
Not right.
Yeah, the 26th.
26.
Thanksgiving, beautiful.
And then December 3rd would be the bridge lighting.
Yep.
All right, anything else on that? All right, we're on the Paul Fisher Park. Shade tree program. Anybody have anything new?
Well, I kind of put together a dummy letter, really rough, to pass out and critique and change and whatever, but at least it's a start, so we can. And really, what my thought was,
Mama King?
I do actually. So when I have forgotten to, all right.
Thank you, sir.
Well, like I say, it's just a rough start. And as we mentioned, just a rough idea, you know, on us have 18 trees of various grade. Really what I'm trying to, it's really a pitch through it, really, through technically. Send it to warehouse. In some of the names and things that I don't know. But they are on the rationale behind all this is we have several donors who have and can commit to $400, but cannot stretch the full 700. 18 times 700 is 1260. 600, 18, 3, 400, 720, take one from the other, we're short $5,400. I mean, you can all do the math if I got it wrong, I'm not quite sure, all made.
We got it.
Is that right? Yeah, we would appreciate if, you know, you could make a grant or make up the shortfall. Wording there is what I'm looking for. I don't know quite sure if that is suitable. Please look over the intended plans and ideas attached. And then my thought was to send him our worksheet, so at least we have something going, and we're not just sitting there waiting for some finance coming in, so send them this document with the scribbles on it that shows we're really working on it, and then, you know, the copy of the trees that we want to put in, and then also our original rough idea of what we had going back in 2021. You know, planted trees in Wall Bridge, land program, just a rough thing. So to me, this way, in my thinking, they can see that we're really seriously trying to do something instead of saying we want 18 trees and this is what it costs. So again, look it over, you know, scribble on it if you like, and correct the phrase, and if you think this is not suitable, I mean, I was just kind of throwing stuff out, saying enough without saying too much, that's the problem, you get too worded enough there. But I wanted to, I want to see that we were capable of raising the money until we have the cost increase.
Now, do you have a list of names that you're gonna mail this out to yet? No? Okay,
Well, I was going to try for the big bucks first.
okay.
Go back down. So I've got to find out who the key person is that this is the best place to go to.
There's Maureen gave me some ideas of places that, and just have to figure out which, like what person to send it to.
Yeah, I was going to talk to Maureen because she has she has some contacts there who the best person would be.
She
So,
was two.
did she give you some names?
She didn't give me the names, but she gave me two wood company
Companies,
ideas, or forest, whatever.
Well, she haven't, I was going
Warehouse
after
or-
these because, you know, there again, I didn't want to get it too wordy, but I wanted to put in the fact that we appreciate the donation of the caboose to Wards, and it gives them another tie to the community. But anyway, I will look over and see what you think. Embellish it or put some out or whatever. But I wanted to say enough about it in 2 words.
Now, this one you're addressing to the timber company. Are you gonna have like a generic one that you mail?
I don't know. This is the first attempt.
Oh, okay.
Something.
Okay.
And Maureen, like I said, talked about like, which she mentioned one place, well, she gave the name, but she just said. Seems strange to me, but it made sense after talking about it, but like she said, morticians. Because
Yeah, to leave them.
to like send them and,
Yeah.
I think is there,
At the
Like-
funeral.
Memorial tree.
because lots of, you sort of gotta figure, talk. Which mortician do people go? to?
Well, I think that's a good idea.
And
But
so,
they don't have the floating bucks to come up with $5,100, I don't think, you know. I mean, I don't know, I mean.
yeah, I don't know, it sounds like, I mean, I,
Well, what you'd have to do then is you'd have to present a program to the funeral home so that they can present to their customers. So it'd just be sitting around and,
Yeah, but the problem is their customers are dead.
yeah, I know that.
No, she was like saying that they have, they tend to
I
make,
don't know how the turnaround is, you know?
that they tend to make lots of money, so. That
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
a good place to approach.
Now, you see, we used to have a family that lived in town and they're not here anymore.
So I guess one thing I had, because I worked on a letter too, so maybe we can. I'll give you my feedback, I'll just send it to you.
Yeah,
And the thing I didn't know if we had a name for our program, if it's like,
well, if you look at
That would
that back sheet of paper, the kind of working name was plant your roots in mold.
okay,
Like that.
plant roots and low tree.
But yeah,
Okay.
plant your roots in mold, tree planting, plant your roots in mold. That was kind of the working title of this whole thing.
Okay, cool.
You know, and then where to put it, the flyers and that kind of thing. But we couldn't put anything out until we had some document to put out, you know, with the information on. So I'm gonna send this as well. Our look,
I would like the brochure.
yeah, this thing, you know, showing that we're working on this. I think it's probably my own opinion, we've got a chance of getting something.
I don't know, we don't wanna make a specific amount, do we? We would appreciate if
Yeah, that's,
you donate $6,000.
yeah, see, that's, so I was kind of leaving things open, to
Yeah.
put in, you know.
I mean, I'm willing to donate $1, but
Yeah.
$2,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't wonder where
Yeah.
I'm at.
and of course, they can always come down, you see.
Okay, 50 cents. Right, I agree.
We can always pass around a coffee can at the bridge lighting too.
Yeah.
You know, there would, you know, if we did set up like, plant your roots in Lowell and do like a funding, we could set something up at the store. And then people could donate, you know, that way, and then we can just take that money and apply it to that.
Well, let's see what we get from this first.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Let's see what we get from this.
Let's try to keep it as simple as
Yeah.
we can keep it,
Okay,
if we can.
The other thing I had a question about when I was going through this is, if they say like. Warehouser wants to donate. Say $500, who do they write the check to? That's. the other thing.
Well, it would be the city of Lowell
City of
for
Lowell,
tree,
yeah.
for tree planting,
Okay,
you know,
the checks go to the city.
yeah.
Right, I didn't, wasn't sure, I'm like, we have like a grant, but it's just straight up city of Louisville.
And I understand they have a way of keeping track of funds for the tree program,
We do.
I think.
Cool.
So.
So I don't have any more other than that, other than now waiting for any feedback or corrections or some other ideas that you can insert, you know.
Yeah, I did a similar thing, so I don't, I mean, I can, if I just. You work with you to combine
Yeah,
ideas even if you want. And then we can come back to the next meeting with a more hashed out, and you guys can provide feedback.
Yeah,
Like,
sounds good.
did that work for you, George?
Oh, yeah,
I try to
sure.
get a hold of you and
yeah,
figure out a time we can. Combine the two. And then. Have a. Somebody who. Isn't involved, look at it too, to see if it makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that was our main thing for the tree program, is
Yeah.
trying to make, raise some funds for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is one of our ideas, so hopefully that will come to fruition.
So we have. How many trees, Jeremy? 8? ready to go
Sounds about right.
in the ground. And I know that our goal was once we reached the half a dozen or so, then we would solve the landscape. For planting,
Yeah,
so I don't know where we're at with that.
It's just gonna have to wait till we get moved and settled in at the new city hall.
Thank you.
Maybe late December, early January timeframe.
anything else on fundraising?
I have a question on Paul Fisher. My question would be, somebody mentioned it to me. The restrooms, I know are vandalized. And we're looking for steel toilets and sinks and blah, blah, blah. And I understand they're quite expensive. I'm wondering if we can go through the county to try to purchase that kind of stuff. Maybe they have surplus to that.
Like the sheriff's department, you know, vehicles. So then it could be something like that.
It's not, hadn't thought of that idea. It's, anything's worth a shot, I guess.
Was a telephone call.
What's that?
With a telephone call.
Yeah.
And Max might know about procuring stuff. Yeah, and that line, because he's purchased stuff, not toilets, but.
So how would a member of the committee feel about contacting the Lane County Parks and Rec Department and seeing what they say? Relay that back to me. Is that something somebody would like to take up?
Yeah, I'll give him a call. Who is it? Lane County?
Parks Committee? Parks.
Parks and Recreation Department? Is that what you're talking about, Hall?
Well, I would assume so, because that's where all the steel toilets are in, the parks and everything, I think. And so, that would be a place to start.
Alright. I'll Google
Okay,
yeah, to get a phone number.
Just to ask them for some advice if they have a preferred vendor or.
yeah, maybe, because if they purchase in large quantities, maybe we can get a discount.
Tell them you're calling as a Lowell Parks Committee member of the research.
We need the vandal proof for the same thing. All right, I'll make a phone call.
Anything else on Paul Fisher Park?
That was 27. But I understand that the road is down the road. It's going to work.
Any other business?
Well, I assume you're gonna get the swing set in the spring, I would assume, right?
At the soonest.
Yeah.
Yes. Does everybody here know that our move-in date is November 21st?
No. Is it? No, not really.
Council's moving, oh no, it's the city.
City Hall,
City Hall's moving to the library.
November
You
21st.
can have a grand opening party.
we are,
Eventually, right?
whenever all the library shelving and books gets here, that's all on order.
Oh, okay.
So in December, so we'll do kind of a soft opening with City Hall. And then when we get the library set up, we'll do a community celebration and a ribbon cutting.
You can have coffee and cookies there.
Very good.
What I would like to do, and it's not really a Parks Committee thing, being as you mentioned that, is get with Lisa and go in the back room and go through all the Blackberry Jam stuff. And see what is appropriate and what is really junk, and then box it up.
Yeah, that day's coming because we gotta get,
That's what I'm thinking.
we gotta get City Hall cleared out because we gotta
Yeah.
burn it down and
Where are you gonna store the stuff in the meantime? Or can you be taking some of the stuff bit by bit at this point over there?
we don't have a lot of room up there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get rid of a lot of stuff. We're gonna
I
have
think
to,
that's what I mean, you know?
we'll have to pay for storage somewhere.
What about those, I don't know what I mean, those pods that you can park in the parking lot? I wonder if that would be suitable, because then you could move it over and it'd be all parked, all inside the pod. Outside City Hall, then you can just take stuff in as you need it. I don't know, just an idea.
That's-
Like permanently?
Oh, no. You know, these pods they bring on the back of a truck.
Uh-huh.
And dump it at City Hall,
Uh-huh.
load it up with your stuff. Then dump it again at the new City Hall, and then unload it as you want to put stuff out on wherever it is you want it.
We're just gonna, we got several trucks with trailers and we're just gonna load everything up and get it done.
So you're not hiring professional movers, right?
No, we're not hiring.
You're not hiring professional movers.
No,
Oh, sure.
Maybe,
Say it's all, you're doing all.
maybe after the move, you'll have wished
Yeah.
you would have hired professional movers.
I have moved more times than I want, and this is just one more time, but we are gonna get it done. We have been through this process, and we're at the finish line, we're gonna get it done.
And you're okay with everything behind City Hall, the storage area and all that? You're okay with moving that to where?
In the current building?
Yeah.
Most of that stuff is gonna get thrown out.
Well, that, yeah, not those old.
We've got a lot of junk back there.
Yeah. It's a dump job.
So we'll get a big roll-off container and just start throwing stuff in there.
Well, don't throw away the two basketball backboards.
I'm not, before we throw anything out, y'all are gonna come in and tell us what to keep.
Because they've been sitting there for years.
I haven't even seen those. Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the proper back to the bench for Mrs. Wetlaw's bench
Okay,
as well, that's right. Requisite. So. That still needs to be, because it would be nice to incorporate that somewhere in our welcome to law or whatever it is we come up with, when we come up with it.
Yeah. Have a library.
Right.
Any other business?
Okay, anything else, decoration, William County, good.
No community comments.
I didn't hand this around because you all know what all this stuff is. Yeah, just make it up.
Yeah. And there is a permanent copy there.
Yeah.
On your
Yeah.
potential tree lighting.
Does anyone else want to motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I will second that motion. Any Parks and Recreation Committee meeting on November 3rd is adjourned at 7:42 p.m.
All right.
Folks.